Hello everybody and welcome back to another WoT Blitzs video with me, Hyperspy7. Today's video we're going to be seeing which is the best tier 10 heavy that you can possibly get for free in the tech tree. I'm not doing any premiums or any collectibles, it's going to be only tech tree tanks because people always wanted to know what is the best tech tree tank heavy, and I thought, why don't I do a video pretty much showing you and telling you why each heavy in their own little way is really good. There's lots of pros and cons between lots of other tier 10s. Some tier 10s have strong hulls, some tanks have weak hulls with strong turrets. There's a whole variety of tanks. There's lots of tanks to pick from, so people are like, which tank do I pick? And yeah, that's probably what I'm going to tell you is the pros and cons and pretty much why I like them and why I didn't go for them or haven't picked them to be a top 3 of the best tanks in my opinion, which are, my opinion, the best tier 10 heavies. They will be all my opinion. Most of this will be obviously not true, it's only just my opinion, and I feel like my opinion, you just gotta know what my opinion is. So I did do a community tea post on my Discord saying like having their own little votes, and I got quite a lot of responses from people. There was a lot of people. Some people said the E5, some people said the WZ113, the mouse, the E100, the IS4, even some trolls who said the IS7, but there was a lot of suggestions, there was a lot of good tanks to pick from, and yeah, we're going to go through each nation, through each heavy, and tell you the pros and cons, the weak spots, the strong points, and pretty much overall stats about them. So that's the first one on the American, the USA tech tree. It is, first of all, the E5, the T11 OE5, which is pretty, it's a really nice tank. It really is a great tank. Has a lovely strong turret, strong hull, great top plate. It's quite a big bottom plate, but some points on the bottom plate is quite hard to pen, but sometimes you can easily pen. If people go for gold, then you're easily going to be penning the bottom plate. That's just normal. All bottom plates have to be weak because they have to have weak points, because then they'll be classes broken if they don't have one. There's only one weak spot at the top of the turret where it is quite a bigger weak spot, but to be honest, it's the only weak spot that I can think of in the actual turret. The hull, a good half of the hull is probably good armored. It's really good armored at the front, just as soon as you show the sides and the rear, it's obviously not going to have good armor, but you just gotta show your front, not really angle, just gotta face forwards. I think you can do face hugs. Some people I think have been told that APCR can pen the top bit, but you have to have really good penetration and are really lucky. But I think bad about it is because easy Americans always have really easy Hable backs of the hull, which is pretty normal. But honestly, it is a great tank to go for. If you are thinking of going along the American line, this is one of the heavies, or the heavy you should go for. The next one, it is the T54 heavy, the tank that I have, which in my opinion is such a great tank. It's really fun, it's a really good tank, and I really do enjoy it. It does have 3 shells, that's why it is well known, because it is the Clipper with those 3 shells. It's a really nice tank, honestly one of my favourite tanks, because with the 3 shells, and then you can pretty much do the 3 shells, get those out, 2.5 seconds per shell fired. It's pretty good. It's really pretty strong. You get to shoot the shells, once you've shot the shells, you pretty much just run away, wait for your reload to come back, and then get back out there when you're reloaded. So the turret, it's got a little bit of armor, but it isn't the best armor. It could be quite easily penned if people go for gold, but with normal shells, if you're lucky, you can get some bounces, but obviously you're not going to get a crap ton of bounces. There are some weak spots in obviously the cheeks, the sides, of the whole, the turret I mean, but it's quite strong. The strong bit's up here, where it's quite angled. The hull can be quite bouncy, the top bit bounces a little bit, bottom plate doesn't really bounce much. But honestly, it's a really nice tank. It really is great fun to play, because you just get those 3 shells and then run. And it's got a bit of speed as well. Both Americans do have speed, which is quite good. But obviously, HE at the back, because it's American. Don't know why, but Americans just do not have the greatest. The rear with HE, they always get penetrated. Every tank, all tanks. Well, most tanks, some, I don't know, tier 9, some really low penetration in HE can only just about pen, but most tanks can pretty much easily. But it's a really nice tank. It really is a great one. It's one of those one you should go for. But that's been American, and let's go to Germany, which the first one is the VK72.01K, which this tank, it's strong. It is strong. Obviously the turret is strong. There's that tiny bit of it where you can, luckily, if you're really lucky, you can penetrate up there, which it's not that, it's quite hard to penetrate when the tanks keep on moving all the time and going back and forwards. It can't be penned. But the front, obviously top plate can't be penetrated, but the bottom plate, if you've got some tanks that have really bad penetration on their normal AP standard shell, they won't really be able to penetrate. There'll be like a little bit of penning like around here and sometimes down there, but as soon as they go for the gold, they will be able to penetrate with ease, because obviously those tanks can penetrate quite easily. But as soon as you start trying to side scrape or trying to turn your hull, you've got a giant weak spot at the back where your turret is. It's really easy to penetrate, but when you're forward on, you can't really see it much. If you're straight on, face hugging, if they can get their gun down with the gun debris, they can sometimes pen down here. But most of the times, it's a really strong tank. It's a strong tank, but as soon as you start side scraping, they easily just pen here, easily. Which honestly, this tank is an okay tank. It's an alright tank. It's not the best heavy, but it's one of them. It's I don't know, halfway up. I think it's okay. It's not the best, but obviously as soon as you get the side, easy to pen, back easy to pen. It can be quite troll sometimes, because people try and shoot like on this bit, then they turn just at the same time, and it bounces sometimes. But obviously people can aim just for the back of the turret, which can easily pen, which is pretty easy to pen. Then we go on to the Sea Mouse, which I've always had for such a long time. And this tank, honestly, is a great tank. Honestly, it's a really nice tank. There is some weak spots, but you can correct those. Like obviously the cheeks of the mouse can be they're a bit difficult. You can get some bounces with AP, but as soon as people go for the gold, then obviously they're going to pen, which is pretty easily penned. But honestly, as soon as you start angling that turret, it's like obviously that part you can't penetrate, this part as it's angled. But then if you got really good penetration in gold, you can still penetrate, but it's not as easy. As long as you stay angled, because obviously you still in front, the bottom plate is going to be penned quite easily by tanks. But as you start angling a little bit and going, keep on wiggling side to side, if they're only focusing that, and you keep wiggling, there it goes, penable, not pen, no pen, pen, penable, no pen. It's just like keeps on going, flickers of pen and not pen. But if they, as soon as they peek over here and like turn the turret to here, to pen here, you gotta go turn right back so they bounce on the top plate. But sometimes if they get close up and they're really face hugging, some TDs can penetrate the top plate with gold, but only some can, not all. But it's a really nice tank, this mouse. It can be quite troll. Some people can get some bounces on the side, like just out of nowhere. Can't really get bounces in the rear because obviously no tank can really bounce on the rear. But it's a really nice tank. It really is such a great tank. It really is. It really is. But moving on to the next tank. It is the mouse. With the mouse? We've just done the mouse. It is the 100. The E100 is a good tank. It's a good tank. Good strong gun. Good power. It's a really nice tank. It really is a good tank. Obviously, just like the mouse, the cheats can be quite penned, but as soon as you angle, like a 45-degree angle, they're obviously not easy to be penned, but then you start getting the side of the hole, which is easy to pen. So you keep on going, like keep on wiggling all the time, so you can get some bounces. The side could be quite troll, like when you're aiming, you're turning the hole like a 45-degree, people try and pen here. It says like pennable here, and then as soon as they turn, it goes whoop, not pen. Because it is like a really strange round kind of thing, like a round. So it's not easy to pen, but you can get some pens. It can be quite troll for me sometimes, especially when you're aiming with AVCR or heat, and obviously it doesn't pen because it's obviously bounces. But it is obviously, as like the mouse, the bottom plate obviously can be penned. But sometimes, if you get really lucky, some people can angle it, and it gets an unlucky bounce, which can be quite good. Can get penned here. If you're really lucky with the shot, you can pen up here, which if you're really lucky, you can pen up here. It could be quite short up there, but you can pen with some good penetration. Moving on, trying to do these as quick as I can. Obviously onto the USSR, which is the IS-7, which honestly, not much to say. Weak as hell. As soon as you turn the turret, your whole bit down here is going to be penned. As soon as you turn the other side, bottom plate gets penned and top plate gets penned. The bottom plate will be penned. You have to be the most luckiest person to bounce up the front. The turret's okay. It can be quite strong sometimes. But I think if you got extremely strong penetration, like the 183, I'm not sure if you can pen up here, but I think you can. With really good penetration, you can. It could be quite troll, but the reason why no one plays it really anymore because it is so easy to Amarek. Because people always Amarek for some reason. But it's really not got the armor of the other people. But the better version is obviously the IS-4, which honestly, this tank is troll as hell. The turret pretty much has no weak spots except that most tiniest hatch, the most tiniest hatch. And obviously the top plate for most heavies is going to be quite hard to penetrate, but once you get a TD with good penetration, it can be quite easy to pen. You will get some lucky bounces. But obviously the bottom plate is easy to pen, but like other tanks, it is quite small. It's a bit small. It's smaller. Like it's small as the mouse, but it's wide instead of small. It can be quite bouncy as well sometimes. You can get some bounces if you're lucky. But most of the time you can get some bounces, which honestly is a very trollish tank. Even the sides can sometimes get a bounce. It can be really troll. This tank is honestly a really good tank because it gets troll bounces all day long, and anyone who comes to face against an IS-4, they're gonna struggle and they're not gonna like you. It's a really good tank, really good strong hull and turret. Really good, need to buy. If you're a really good player, like a really good like Unicum player, then goddamn, you're way too OP. Because it can be a really good strong tank. It really is. But moving on to the British, the UK. It is the only American, the only heavy I was meant to say, the only heavy, the FE215B. And this tank, you do see it quite a lot in tournaments because it has the speed, has armor, and it has a quite troll armor and quite troll turret. Whenever I face one, I always get bounces. I always bounce it. Like it always shows this bit is pettable, and as soon as you shoot it, it always bounces. For some reason, for me, it always bounces when it says pettable, but it's not. It's annoying. It really frustrating and annoying. But it really is a good tank. It can be quite easy to pen on the sides, obviously, but you don't want to show the sides. You want to be frontally forwards onto it because it is a very strong tank. You get that top, the hatch. Obviously, you can pen, but because the turret, the tank has such good hold to first, it could be turning quite quickly, like really good turning. It's a strong tank. Everything is good about it. It's a good hull, good turret. It's kind of like an IS-4 with the troll hull, because it can be quite troll as well. I'm trying to get these tanks now faster than I did, and the next tank, it is the WZ113. Nearly did the WZ121. WZ113, which honestly, this tank is a really strong Chinese tank. Has a nice strong turret with the hatch here being able to pen, and obviously this bit as well. This one's harder to pen, but this one is easier to pen. But with this small tiny little hatch, it also is a really tricky hatch to hit. If you keep on moving, it could be you can get some bounces. You can get some bounces off that hatch. Also, the turret strong as hell, top plate strong as hell, but the bottom plate obviously you can pan. But if you face hugging or if you hold down, then you're pretty much good. You're pretty good for the right of the battle. It can side scrape. It can be good at side scraping because it has that strong hull. With a strong turret. Talking way too much, which is taking time. But it's a really good tank. It's a nice tank. It really is. It's a great tank because it's a lovely legendary camouflage. It makes it all go lovely. But it is a nice tank. It really is a nice tank. It's a really nice, smart tank. Honestly, a great tank to get. And the last tank, the last American, it is the AMX 50B. This one's another clipper with the 3 shells, just like the T57 Heavy. But the AMX compared to the T57 Heavy, it's a bit different. But if you want me to go through that, I will probably make another video on the T57 and the AMX 50B and tell you what is the better one and what is the one you should go for. But as you like the other one, this one is a slightly less armor tank. Has less trolls because it's a very tall tank with a big turret, which is quite hard. When you go to mines, you be poking over the top, at least over this bit, and then people just be getting the shots on your turret, which is quite bad because people can see you. But everything good about this tank, it has a good upper plate. The whole upper plate it can bounce, but the bottom plate obviously can't bounce because most bottom plates and all bottom plates can't penetrate. And there you go. That is all the tier 10 heavies. What a good what are bad, some weak spots, and some positives about them. They're all good tanks. And now I'm going to tell you which, in my opinion, is the top 3 or top 4 best tanks, on my opinion. So, being number 4, I was going to go number 3, but I thought number 4 I might as well tell as well. So, number 3, my opinion, is it's going to be, and number 4 is going to be the mouse. It has to be the mouse, because the mouse is a really, really strong tank. This it was quite tricky to think of which could be number 4, either the E100 or the mouse. But in my opinion, the mouse has the better armor. Hasn't got the better gun, but it has the better armor, which honestly, armor can do a lot more. Plus, it has more HP as well. It has over 3,000 HP if you have the equipment onto it. It's a really nice hull, a really good turret. If you can angle it, if you know how to angle, you're gonna get a crap ton of bounces. It's a really nice tank, but that'd be number 4. Number 3, I'm gonna be picking. Number 3 has to be the T11 OE3. This tank is honestly it's a really good tank. If you're going for American, you have to get this tank first or second. But this tank honestly is a great tank. It's such a nice tank. Great turret, good top plate. But the thing bad to it is the reason why it's not second is because it's so easy to be Hable at the back, and it just hasn't got the armor on the side. It gets easily panned on the side and the rear. It hasn't got really any troll bounces to the side. But the front, obviously, it's got a strong turret, a strong top plate. It has great speed. Plus, you can get the speed booster, makes it even faster. Which honestly, it's a great tank. But it really is a nice tank. The top plate with the small hatch with the good hull. And there could be second place. It was a hard decision. But the one that had to go second was the WZ113. Honestly, had to be second. It really does have to be second, because it has a great hull, great top plate, tiny bottom plate. What do you need? It's so, my opinion, it looks so nice. It's so smart, and I don't know why, I just want to say it's smart because it just looks so nice. And plus the legendary camo does make it for me, because I sometimes go for the tank because it has the legendary camo, and this legendary camo has such a nice legendary camo. But that's the reason why I picked it second. It's a really nice tank. It has a bit of speed, but not the best. But honestly, it's a great tank. And obviously, first place had to be the IS-4. It has to be. Because it has the turret, has the armor, has the troll. It has a bit of speed. But honestly, it's such great tank. Has a nice camouflage as well. But it has such a great turret. Pretty much no weak spots in the turret. Not really. Only the bad bot is if you get a tall tank, you can penetrate the top bit, but there's not many tall tanks. But if you get a normal tank, face hug him, strong turret, strong hull, good top plate. It's an okay bottom plate. It really is a great tank. It really is. Well, anyway, that's gonna be it. That was all my tanks. The best tier 10 heavy was obviously the IS-4, because it's got everything. But if you want me to do another one where I talk to you about TDs, what's the best TD tier heavy texture? What is the best medium? What is the best light? Do let me know in the comments. And if you haven't made it all the way here, then do let me know in the comments if you have or not, because it really does mean a lot if you do make it all the way through the end of a great video. I hope you guys did enjoy. Please do like and subscribe if you have enjoyed it, and do let me know. I really do I do obviously read the comments all the time. I do them. But I'm sorry it was such a long video. It's really hard because there's so many tier 10 heavies. It really is. There's so many. But I hope you guys did enjoy, and I shall see you in another WoT Blitz video. Bye for now. Peace.